Hello. Hi. Today's video is going to be some soft-spoken singing, not singing for the whole video, sorry, mostly talking about music. And then like while I'm talking about the music, I'm just going to be singing some lines from some of my favorite songs at the moment. Before we get into it, I just wanted to rant for a little second. Today has been wild. It feels like it's been like an entire week wrapped into one day. Sorry, I don't know if that was loud. Essentially, I'm putting lotion on my hand because it's really dry on the back. But essentially, work was super busy, and then there was also construction going on at work, and then we lost power. And then I like got off work, went home, and I also didn't have power at my house. But I got power back finally, and I've just kind of been decomposing the entire night. I also I got back power in time to watch Survivor and Big Brother, so I watched both of those tonight. So I guess I wasn't decomposing, I spent 3 hours watching TV today, which is not normal for me. I don't even own a TV, I just watch it on my phone. But yeah, that was like, I spent 3 hours watching TV, and so now it's, I don't know, this clock that I have right here is wrong, but I don't remember by how much, and I can't look at the time while I'm recording, but it's probably, I know it's after midnight, I know for a fact it's after midnight. It's probably close to 1. Let me grab my bag. Anyways, let's get into the video. I want to talk about music. I'm not usually a huge music person, but I have made a music post in the past, and I'm just kind of like in the mood to talk about music again, but I'm not like well versed in any sort of terms or anything like that, and I'm not gonna listen to a song and be like, this is the message and this means this. Like I don't really like doing that. So let's get into it. Oh, I should have wrote down their monthly subscribers on Spotify, or their monthly listeners on Spotify, but I forgot to. But I have like a little, I've got my handy dandy notebook with my notes. So the first artist I wanted to talk about is Nemahsis. Nemahsis is a Palestinian Canadian musician based, I think, in Toronto. She just released an album this week, and it is so good. Okay, like I did share it on this account. I remember that now. It covers so many different genres, and like every song you listen to is gonna have a completely different vibe, and sometimes even within like each individual song it's like whoa. But like it tickles my brain in such a great way, and I love her music. If you would recognize her at all, it would probably be from the sound she has, I think, on Instagram and TikTok. She did a cover of Team by Lord, like the "We live in cities you'll never see on a screen," that was used in a lot of videos about Palestine. And then her most recent hit, I would say, is Stick of Gum, which the music video for that is so cool. It's all filmed in the West Bank in Palestine, but it is like, it's just an incredible music video. Like the vibes from it, and there's this moment where the beat's like poo 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 poo, and like it's a different photo for every beat, and it just looks so cool. But like the lyrics from that are like, are you capable to reciprocate no matter how high or heavy the take? A stick of gun to dynamite, you could plead guilty and I will do the time. It's easier loving you than to know why I need to. My personal favorite songs of hers on the new album is, the new album is called Verbatim. And oh my god, she shared on her Instagram like where the title of the song came from, and the cover is her like dressed as undone and she's holding her tongue, and it's spelled verbatim, like TH, and the like message she put in it was talking about like how so many Palestinians are silenced, like the holding of the tongue, and then like dressed up as a nun, how people feel confident, or not confident, people feel comfortable with modesty just when it's shown in the way that they prefer, i.e. nuns over like wearing a hijab and things like that. And I was just like, oh, there are so many moments. I listened to the album, I think it's the first album I've listened all the way like through how it's meant to be in probably forever. I don't usually listen to albums like that, but I listened to it on YouTube, and like so many of the songs, like the way that they play into each other, I'm like, oh, like it really is like a journey into like understanding yourself and like feeling comfortable with yourself. I love it so much. Okay, the next song artist I wrote down, the rest of these are just specific songs from artists, but the next artist on my list is and song is Man by Quinnie. If you recognize Quinnie, you probably recognize her for Touch Tank, which I believe is her most popular song. The first time I ever heard Touch Tank, it was a cover of Touch Tank, and it was like somewhere on Instagram. In the cover of it, they had changed the lyrics, or maybe they hadn't. Yeah, no, they changed the lyrics. I think they changed the pronouns, so it sounded like a lesbian song, like a woman singing about another woman, and I was like, oh, I love this, it's so cool. And then when I found out that the lyrics had been changed and it was actually about a man, I was like, I just like wasn't into it. I like women, by the way. I'm bi, but I'm not sexualizing lesbians. but yeah, I was like a little disappointed when I realized that the song is about a man. But then I heard Man, and it's just such a fun vibe. I love it. And the only thing I could find on this artist is that she's from New Jersey, but the lyrics to Man that I'm gonna try and sing, I only wrote down one line, but like hopefully it'll spark a memory. It's like, so fuck all your gold stars, the cherries in the backyard. No amount of sugar could sweeten such a bitter heart. And fuck your soft boy skin, the cowboy or the Tarzan. No amount of nail polish could paint you a good man. Yeah, it's just a really fun song. Next, we have Backseat by Liang. Again, not an artist that I could find a lot on. I found like one interview that like randomly mentioned that she lived in like 8 countries under the age of 18, but I didn't find any information on what those countries were or why or anything like that. I just found that she's based in the UK. Backseat is the second song of hers I've listened to like a lot. I think Not a Love Song is the first song that like showed up on my Spotify. By the way, I get all my music from Spotify. I don't have TikTok, so I don't get music from there. Sometimes I guess I found Nemahsis through Instagram, but for the most part I get my music from Spotify. Anyways, yeah, Backseat by Liang. It starts off, it doesn't start this way, sorry, but this is the way I wrote it down. It's a car from the 5C, and I'm so sure that you love me, and I take this road forever if it meant I know no better. So take the wheel and go. Heard about what happened now, nothing's the same. Tell me how to think, you gotta play with her. Can you tell that I don't know the lyrics as well? Yeah, I just really like the vibes of the song. And it starts off by going like, training wheels round the park. I don't know, I just love her voice. I think it's really fun. Okay, the last song that I wrote down is a more popular one. It is a Sailor Song by Gigi Perez. And the only thing I wrote down for her was lesbian. She is actually one. That's like what her Spotify thing says. But like the internet told me she's from Florida, I think. I didn't write it down, but I think so. But she's definitely like a TikTok artist, and I don't mean to sound rude. I do like her music, but like I don't love whenever I find a song, I find it on Spotify, and then I will like later on somehow realize or find out that it's a popular TikTok song, and like the likability like immediately kind of falls a little bit. And it's not because like, oh, you're an artist getting popular on TikTok. It's not that at all. It's more so like, oh, now I kind of know who your fans are. You know, people who have zero attention span. Like I deleted TikTok because it was unhealthy for me. It was so unhealthy for me. But yeah, it's just like, okay, I wrote this in a very logical way out earlier, to like be like, I promise it's not all a red flag, but like there is this logical way that I feel that way towards like popular music, and it's not just music, it's music and books. So I think I said something along the lines of any piece of media that reaches a certain point of popularity reached that point of popularity because it appeals to the masses. And if you appeal to the masses, you are probably like the piece of media that you created is probably created in a way that it can be seen as unpolitical. And what that really means is that it's most likely probably racist or queerphobic or something in some sort of way. And the example I used, I actually didn't use this. I wrote it out and then I deleted it, but I'm gonna use it now. The example that I want to use is like Taylor Swift, okay? So she posts nothing and nothing and nothing, 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 nothing at all political until some of her fans are like, Taylor, you are friends with a Trump supporter, you are hugging someone who endorses Trump. And then when that news story goes popular, she decides to finally endorse a candidate while not mentioning the genocide that thousands of her fans are asking her to mention. Anyways, I try not to give her any time of day, but I have to use her as an example, okay? Like if you are going to be at that height of popularity, it is because like you have a brand that you don't want to be controversial. Like you cannot have that popularity in like this world, in this country, while also being controversial in some sort of way by supporting fucking human rights. Anyways, yeah, sorry, back to Sailor Song by Gigi Perez. Yeah, I like realized later that it's a TikTok thing, and it's because like one of her videos showed up on Instagram for me. That was her saying, it was like responding to a comment in the video she made about like songwriting is not a democracy, and like she chose the lyrics for a very specific reason. And I was like, what lyric is this talking about? Like I've heard Taylor songs so many times. And so like I went and I found out, and it's the lyric that is I don't believe in God, but I believe that you're my savior. And apparently like a huge group of conservative Christians, Catholics, whatever, all same, found it and was like very upset about it. And like it's that fact of like, oh, this song is this popular now that like these kind of people are going to be listening to it is what puts me off. But I still love Sailor Song. Okay, Sailor Song is incredible. Like the beat, when I heard it for the first time, I was like, no, I've had to have heard this before, right? Like it just has that vibe and I love it. Anyways, I had to write out a lot more of the lyrics for this one. because these are the lyrics. Because I struggle to remember them, but let's go. So won't you kiss me on the mouth and love me like a sailor? When you get a taste, can you tell me what's my favorite? I don't believe in God, but I believe that you're my savior. I know that you've been worried, but I'm dripping in my favor. And when you're getting dirty, I forget all that is wrong. I sleep so I can see you, 'cause I hate to wait so long. I sleep so I can see you, and I hate to wait so long. Anyways, that's all the music that I wrote down. I had this goal. Let's just chat. My leg keeps falling asleep. But I had this goal at the beginning of the year. Yeah, at the beginning of the year, after like the Spotify Wrapped came out, I was like, you know, I've taken a lot of effort to diversify my reading. You know, because if you're just, oh my god, my leg is falling asleep so hard right now. Oh my god. Okay, sorry. You know, if you're just finding like books from Goodreads or like popular tables at your local bookstore or whatever, you're finding books that publishers have decided that they want to spend their money on, and in most cases it is very like white cis het books. Oh my leg. It's very white cis books though, that are marketed, and that's like what you're gonna find if you're not looking really hard. So it really is like in a certain way, depending on what resources you have, difficult to find more diverse books. But like this year I was like, I'm really gonna put in the effort to find more diverse books, and I have found so many fucking incredible authors, so many incredible authors that I talk about on here quite a bit. But in that same sense, I was looking through my Spotify Wrapped and I was like, damn, like, yeah, a lot of the creators, like, or a handful were queer, but a lot of them were just white from the US or from the UK. And I was like, you know, I really think I want to like diversify my music taste too, because I know a huge part of it is Spotify. Like if I look at my Spotify Discover Weekly or whatever, a lot of it's like not music that I've ever even remotely listened to, and it's just a bunch of like white straight artists. And so it's like I know that like the privilege is still worked into the system on Spotify too, and like it is showing you a very specific type of music. So I started by like searching for like BIPOC playlists, or like you know, like a bunch of like queer artist playlists, and I just started finding people more and more by that. And then I want to say finally my Spotify kind of started showing me more diverse, but it's still really not. I'm mostly just finding things whenever I happen to cross upon them, I guess. But yeah, and I'm not like listening to music just because the author or just because the artist is an artist of color or something like that. Like I'm finding, oh my god, I'm seeking out stuff like that, but like I'm staying because it's really fucking good music. And I like truly like Nemahsis is probably I don't know if she'll show up as my top artist on Spotify this year, but like she's definitely my favorite artist this year. And Flower of Love, I didn't talk about her in this video, but I talked about her I think in the last music video I made. Like her music is so catchy and fun, but it's like so much like UK pop that I probably never would have found it if I wasn't like looking on these specific lists. And yeah, just like the type of media all across the types of media that you're going to be shown, especially if you live in a Western country, is going to be very white cis het, and you have to like work to find diverse media. But it is definitely worth the effort, and you will find so many incredible artists yeah. Oh my god, this video is 20 minutes. I thought this video was gonna be like 5 minutes. Holy crap. I need to go to bed. I need to go to bed. Okay, I'm gonna go now, but I will talk to you guys later. Good night.